Okay. Okay, it says successfully connected. I'm connected on both cameras. Hello, everyone. If you could see me, come on in. Let me know that you are here. I am live. I'm live on. Hi, dear. How you doing? Come on in. Today is Friday. It is it's I'm blessed, honey. That's good to hear that. Okay, I want all the Kingdom crew in the room. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I wanted to show, let my other people know that I am live. This is Joanna in the Christian Corner. I am live on YouTube on This Old Lady Talk. Now it's your turn to join us over there. And I want you to hear what I have to say to them today, okay? Just sit back and enjoy the video. Okay. I'm doing well, and I'm blessed as well. As you can see from the title, it's story. I have not done story time in a while, okay? And it's time for a true story, hey, come on in. Oh boy, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. It's time for story time, so come on in, come on in. You can see from the title, it's a soul that's under attack. And you tell me, I know. Isn't it good to see Yolis, Linda and Yolis, two Lindas, and my two Lindas, and Yolis in the house with us this evening. And also I have you guys, the Christian Corner is our guest today. Yes. So this is how we do it. I live my life just like I'm on either channel. I wouldn't say nothing on here that I wouldn't say on the Christian Corner. So, but anyway, I want to tell you guys a story, okay? And the story might even sound familiar, okay? Because if you know anything about spirits, they are the same. The host of the spirit just changed, but the spirit remains the same, good or evil. Okay, so this story is this lady. Ever since she was 6 years old, she's been dealing with what she thought to be misfortunes in her little life. When she looked back on her life, she thought about the time when her father died. She said it dated back from childhood. Now listen to me carefully now. It started with her from childhood when she lost her father at age 6. This woman, right after her father's death, she almost drowned at 6 years old. She almost drowned. And on top of drowning, something told this little girl to jump in a ditch. They had dug a ditch in the city that was real deep in this city. They were putting down, I think they were running sewage or wires for lights. It was way back in the country, but they were digging real deep to lay wires in this ground. So this little girl, remember, she almost drowned at age 6. Right back, she's standing at the edge of a ditch, looking way down. I don't know how many feet it was, but she said to her it looked like the ground. It looked like the ground would never end. She was looking way down. Something told this child, a child at age 6, to jump in the hole. And the little girl jumped, obeyed the voice. A child don't know the voices of good and evil. This baby jumped off in this hole. Yes, you're hearing me right. Then after she jumped off in the hole, she said it was nighttime and she was still in this hole until the people realized her mother was calling out to her, and she was so deep in the hole, she was saying over here, but she was just a child, remember, and they could not hear her. So one of the neighbors say he thought he heard something, but it was like coming from underground, and she just kept screaming. And she said she had some toys in her hand that she had thrown in the hole to see just how deep it was, and some little horses and soldiers or something she had, and she said it went way down. She wanted to see how far it was. So when she got down and they couldn't find her, she tried to throw the little soldiers back up where they could see it, but she was down so far, she couldn't even throw that far up. So finally, a neighbor came and rescued this little girl and say, I found her, here she is. So they gathered, they got ropes and ladders, but anyway, they rescued this little girl. Years passed on. This same little girl, this little soul that really did not know right from wrong, good and evil. She was a child. But she said that she sensed that something was wrong. She thought it was her. And she said that on down the line, she went to a swimming pool, in a community pool. And she knew how to swim because she grew up around plenty lakes and ponds, she said. So that was not a problem, swimming. This lady said now, she is a old woman now, but she is recalling back that she was under attack way back then. That's what she said. Okay, then she said that she was swimming in this pool, minding her own little business. Long come this heavy-set little girl, she say, a heavy-set little girl, that told her, say, let's go into the deep end and swim. And she said, I know how to swim. And the little girl told her, she said, well, I know how to swim, but I'm not going in the 10 feet because she said, my mother told me don't swim in the deep end. And the little girl said to her, come on and swim in the deep end. You hold on to the sides of the pool, and they have, let me tell you this. Listen what I'm saying now. The little girl, two little girls, one done been attacked a couple of times already, but she didn't know what was happening to her. Now here she go in a swimming pool. The little girl persuaded her against her better judgment. She followed this little girl. Okay? And she went on to the deep end because she said to herself, well, they do have lifeguards and I'm safe if I hold tight on the edges of the swimming pool. So she did. Then after that, the little girl, the heavy-set little girl, told her, they walking on the side of the pool, and she said, okay, I'm going to show you I can swim. And she shoved off from the side of the swimming pool. That little girl, heavy-set little girl, could not swim. She could not swim a bit. So what she did was she reached out and grabbed that other girl, this woman that was telling the story. She said she was a little tiny something. And the heavy-set girl, that's why she kept saying this heavy-set girl. Can you imagine you're a little girl, about 6 or 7 years old, and this heavy-set person reach out and grab you and your hands go under. She grabbed her and she pushed her under. And she said she was screaming, and the lifeguard, she came up and she remembered swallowing so much water. And she came up and she was screaming, help. So the lifeguard rescued her. But the little girl, the woman said that she swam on to the corner. It was not she to be saved. It was the heavy-set girl because she did not know how to swim. But she swam on to the edge to safety. And she said she got up and she was frightened, very frightened, and she was sick. Real sick because she swallowed a lot of water. And when she got home, she said her mother was upset with her, but she said, well, didn't you know how to swim? How could this happen to you? She said, well, it wasn't me. I listened to this girl, and she grabbed a hold on me, and she dragged me under. She grabbed her. Let me tell you this here. In life, if you know how to swim and you in the pool or in a lake with someone that doesn't know how to swim and they get hold to you, you can count your good cookies goodbye because they will take you under. A drowning person will grab at a straw to save them. So this woman said she was so sick when she got home. Her mother chastised her, and she said that she would never do that again. That really taught her a lesson. Hey, come on in. And then after that, she started to grow up. But remember I told you her father passed away. So there she was with a mother and her sisters and brothers. But she said that she was the last child. And her life started to turn for the worse. After that incident, she said, about 2 years down the line, in a lake down from her house, the same thing happened to her next door neighbor. So they went swimming, and 2 boys went swimming. And one knew how to swim and one didn't, and they were in a boat. The boat sank, and one of the boys knew how to swim, and he grabbed on and drowned the other. How they know that this boy drowned the other? When they didn't come home that evening, she said that the whole neighborhood was in a disarray because the mother was running around screaming and asking if anybody see my son. And she said to the lady, I saw your son. She said they were going, and she named the boat for the kids. And they had a fishing poles in their hand, and the mother started to weep and wail and run fast toward this lake. So when the mother did that, so did all the neighborhood. The neighborhood, back in the day, like they said, take a village to raise a child. Well, that's what the type of neighborhood this woman was raised in. And she said that everybody in the neighborhood started to run toward the lake. Then it was way long ago now, because the woman is elderly now, so that was like way back, you know. She said when they saw a boat on the water turned upside down, and it was swaying, and it was moving in and out of the, you know, on the lake, turned upside down, and they saw the clothes and the shoes on the shore, and they knew right then. So they called the authorities. They came in, and they drugged the lake. And when they drugged the lake, they found it hooked onto the boy that could swim, the back of his shirt. The reason why I say there was the boy that could swim, he came up first, she said, out of the water. And when they brought the thing up, the one that couldn't swim was wrapped around the waist of the other boy. Right then they knew that this boy killed this boy trying to survive, and his body dropped into the water when they pulled it up. So the mother lost it. So her mind, she said, went back to when this girl tried to almost do the same thing to her. And she said in her little mind that she started to pray, because she said that her father taught her how to pray. I said her father, not her mother. And she said that her father had taught her how to pray, but remember now her father had died. So then she said she started to grow up, and devastation started happening all around her. And she said right after this, maybe a year later, in the same neighborhood that she lived, same street that those boys that died, well, one lived back there, was her neighbor, and one was from a neighborhood over from her. But she said that she was picking fields of flour in the country. She said that where she lived, you could look, as far as you could look, there were fields of flowers, all colors, pink, yellow, purple, and green, and white. And they smelled so good in the springtime. But she said that she was picking fields of flowers. She was a little girl. All this happening while this girl was growing up from 6 and 7 and 8. She's coming on up. She heard a gunshot, but it was like a real big something she never had heard before, but she knew it was a gun. Okay. I guess from listening at that on TV, cowboys and Indians. But she said she knew it was a gunshot. So, and she heard where it was coming from. So she said she dropped the flowers and ran toward where she heard the noise. And it was some more little girls around right next door. And she asked her, did you hear that? She said, did y'all hear that? The little town was so little, you hear a gunshot, you hear somebody crying, they gonna all hear it. That's one of those little places, she say. So they went on and she went running back there, and lo and behold, she said, there was a family of people that lived right behind her that lived with the grandfather. They never saw the grandmother. She only remembered her grandfather, their grandfather, maybe because of her age at the time. But she said her little playmate, these are the children that this woman played with as a child, they were starting to die, all mysteriously. One got drowned. Now I'm going to tell you, one, they just started to die. One was poisoned. One was dead, ate poison right next door. Honey, the woman say things just started happening after her father passed away. So, yeah, I forgot to tell you, she told me about the little boy. That was the first thing that happened, was the little boy ate poison and tried to give her some to eat, but she refused, but then he died. But anyway, then it went on, and she was like she was under attack of being around death so much. Then when she ran back there, she said she heard and she saw one of her playmates crying, and she says, what's wrong? And he said, I have killed my brother. And all the little people in the neighborhood was running and rallying around this kid. And so I guess the grown people came up, but she said that by this time, the adults was around, and that one boy was up underneath a car where he had been shot with a shotgun. And she saw this. She said that the people came to get the body, did not tell the children to get out of the way or nothing like that. You know, children shouldn't see everything. A child shouldn't see everything. But she said nobody told them in no occasion when she found the little boy poison. She did not eat the poison. He tried to get her to eat it, but she did not. He died. She didn't. She did not die in the swimming pool. The woman, the other girl, was saved, but she was saved, but she almost drowned. Her friend was drowned in the lake. Now, another friend was shot to death right in the back of her house. And she said when they pulled him from out, dirt was on his face, blood running out of his mouth. And she said it didn't look like he was nothing, just a whole, but say when they turned him over, his whole back was out. So it was a shotgun that went off. It dropped and it went off and killed the brother. Because they had no supervision at home. And she said the woman had a whole bunch of children. It was like a whole bunch. She didn't know how many, but she said the people had a whole bunch of children. She knew this. And she was forbidden to ever go back there and play because it was so many children. And the mama was never home with them. The granddaddy was. And She said that she was forbidden to go and play with the kids anywhere in the neighborhood. But then she said when she started to feel like she was under attack, but she didn't know what it was her mother then got really sick. And that's when she started to feel pressure. She began to be a caretaker. She was a caretaker for not only this, her mother, she said it was for everybody in the neighborhood. The blind, the crippled, the sick. She said her life was beginning to unravel at a young age. Her soul was under attack then, but she didn't know what was going on. And years passed, and she started to lose people dear to her. She was in places that she had just left, and then when she leave, things would happen where they would have a shootout or something like that, or a building would collapse, or she would leave an area and they would have a bad storm and she would just leave the area. She said things would happen all the way down until her own life, until follow her until adulthood, until one day she said to herself, you know, this doesn't look good. I need to get right with God, she said, because this is getting a little bit too close to home, she said. She done lost everybody in her family, almost. She said she lost everybody in her family by then. And she had to actually pray for survival. So her father taught her how to pray. She prayed. She survived. But then something happened. Her life as an adult, she say, went from one thing to another. But getting on to this part right here in this age, she was telling me about this. That was just like the introduction to the story. That was just the introduction to her story. Her story ends. Her story is still going on now. She say, is it still I'm under attack, or have I arrived and I am now can see why I am like I am? Okay. She said that her children started to die. Her own kids. And she said that she had a child that she had to care for. And every day of her life, or of this child's life, she said that it was like a struggle. Even the child tried to take their own life at one point, the child. So you can see they didn't feel like something was going on in their own life. The child tried to take their own life. So she's gotten on up in age, but she said that still to this day, where she believed that she was under attack, she could see that she was under attack. The reason why she said this, because things are happening. She have to stay and gain her happiness. Stay strong in her faith and beliefs, Because she said, if she just back up a little bit, like take a breath, at her age, on up that age now, she said that every day something come up in her life that has to do with being under attack. Every day. And she want to know, is it going to continue like this? Is this what the battle is? Let me tell you guys this right here. In the Christian channel on YouTube, you're going to be faced with battles of your life, and this to this lady. You're going to see, and now at this age, I'm quite sure she can actually see, and she can call out the things that are happening to her. She knows she's under attack. That's the good part about it. She recognized that she's under attack, and she know what to do about it. So I'm saying all this from this lady. When you see something that you know is not right, and it's happening over and over again, yes, you are under attack. That's the bottom line. And it's not your flesh is under attack, honey. It's your soul is under attack. 9 times out of 10, you are doing something right in the eyesight of God. You are following a roadmap that was not designed by man's hand, that Satan do not like. And yes, you are under attack. And to know you are under attack, realizing you are under attack, is to stay prayed up. And that's the bottom line, being under attack. Recognizing the attack, let me tell you, knowing where it's coming from, calling out the attackers, the assailants, reading in scripture and finding out just what to do about it. Because most definitely you are under attack with something like that. If it does not bring you pleasure or happiness and security, and anything in your life become a minus and not a plus, it's not, you are under attack. If somebody trying to subtract instead of add on to your life is expectancy, your household, gaining, growing your household in a nice, valuable way, and not taking away from your household, even your peace. People can steal your joy. Yes, you are under attack. If everything that you try to do, it look like it just don't, you are under attack. Don't take it for granted that this is 2022. Just like this old woman saying, it happened then, it could happen this right today. Thank you, honey. Let me tell you, there ain't nothing wrong with being, if you're under attack, look at it like this right here. You must be doing something right if you're under attack. Something you're doing right if you're under attack. Your attacker can be your own children. And just let's don't forget that. You, and sometimes they are the worst ones because you love them just like God loves us. He loves us, and we can do some terrible things, and we know that's not right, and sometimes keep doing it. And say repent, but we repent, but we repeat. Repeat, 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 repeat. Well, you know, that's ridiculous. Even a parent, a worldly parent, will get tired of that mess, and they will shut the door and take the key away from you, or take the car, or whatever. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, even a parent will take that away from you. You know, enough is enough. And people need to stop leaning on that, you know. But let me tell you this right here. You got to recognize when you're under attack. When something keep coming at you, even though you think you might have it down pat, and then the next day, almost the same thing. Okay, then you're praying in your closet and all of this right here, and the next thing you know, something else come up. He might send the same type of spirit, but in a different person. Do you understand what I'm saying? Oh, let me excuse my other channel. All right, that's the moral of the story is recognizing that you're under attack. And so God bless you and keep you. And I will talk to you later. Goodbye. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Joanna's Christian Corner. Bye-bye.